Let's just try that one again, shall we? Well, hello and welcome back to the DCUK Podcast. This is Season 6 and it is Episode 7. And as always, I'm your host, James Graham. It's a pleasure to be back behind the mic for a second week in a row. That's what we like to see. If you didn't see the watch along at the weekend just gone against the New York Red Bulls, that was fantastic. What a great game to actually watch it from a neutral perspective, but a much better and a much improved performance from our perspective as well. So let's go through the show. We've got some news. We've had some exciting news just from today, and we're going to go through that. We're going to go through a bit of a review of the Red Bull game. I have to admit, I have not actually watched the Cincinnati highlights, so we'll go through some stats, and if you've got any comments about that, then please do leave them in the chat as well. And then we're going to go through a preview of this weekend's game against Orlando City. Got a question about some random stuff as well, not even related to DC United, but if you do have anything, please do let me know. And yeah, we're going to take a look at a lot of different things this evening. There's a few things to go through. But we're going to crack on with a little bit of news. So yes, we got some news. And before I kick things off about soccer, today is 4th of July, so happy Independence Day to all you American listeners out there. I hope you have a wonderful evening, or if you're listening to this after the fact, I hope you had a wonderful evening. Lots of fireworks, lots of beer, and yeah, I hope you had a lovely evening. But for us in the UK, it's also General Election Day, which means we're voting in a new Prime Minister, and I don't know why I decided to do this on the day, but there's been, as I'm recording now, which is 10 or 5 p.m. There's exit polls have just been released, and well, it looks like we're going to get a Labour government with a majority, and it's ridiculous how much of a majority. Look, the predictions are around 410 seats, which for those of you in America and around the world, the Conservatives have been in power since 2010. Things have gone a bit weird. People are a bit annoyed, as you can tell by these votes. By the end of the show, we might already know who the government is, but the polls closed at 10 p.m. and the votes are now being counted, and we'll eventually later on find out who is going to be our new Prime Minister. And yeah, looking at it, it's a massive majority to Labour. Conservatives are losing a lot of seats. Lib Dem look to be gaining a few seats. So yeah, interesting times. I am not really expecting anybody to come into watching this live, so this is just going to be me chatting by myself and lonely in the chat. So if you listen to the show afterwards, just remember, keep your eyes peeled, get yourself subscribed, and make sure you get notified about all the upcoming shows and watch-alongs and everything that we're going to be doing. So yeah, news-wise, let's crack over to the browser, because you might see up on screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, the MLS All-Star 2024 roster. So if you are watching us up to the top right there, what you want to look at is that first column there, the voted in. So you'll see some obviously big names in there, like Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, all from Cincinnati, Lucho Costa and Christian Arango as well, top players. Then we've got, for the first time in, I think it was mentioned, since 2012, 2 DC United players have been voted in. And that's the key bit. We've had a couple of players in the All-Star team before, but this is that first time in over a decade that we've had 2 players that have voted in. And that is Christian Benteke and Aaron Herrera, both very good players and well worth the votes and getting them into the MLS All-Star game. So that'll be interesting. It's usually a midweek game, so generally I don't get the time to watch it. And yeah, it'll be MLS All-Star versus Liga MX All-Stars as well. So we'll see what happens. If we watch it, we watch it. If not, we'll not. But I'll be looking out for all the clips and all the highlights from that game. You'll see other big names in there. Ricky Puig. There's Luis Suarez there. Miles Robinson as well. And then you've got the coaches' picks, which some names that I'm surprised they weren't in the voted in, but you know, coaches' picks are there. So Dennis Bawanga, Federico Bernardeschi, Ryan Gold there, Hugo Lloris, Thiago Martins as well, Hani Mukhtar. And then commissioner's picks, he gets 2, so he's picked Hector Herrera of Houston Dynamo and Darlington Nagbe, who just seems to be going forever and ever and ever. So we've got those guys in the MLS All-Star. Very pleased to see the 2 DC United players in there. Over the moon for them. And then on top of that, there's the MLS Next All-Star as well. And Gavin Turner is being selected into the MLS Next All-Star squad for the 2nd year in a row. So congratulations to Gavin Turner. Then, next up on the news is the MLS have released club roster profiles, which is as of 1st of May 2024. So we're already 2 months out of date. But it kind of gives you an idea of what squads look like and how the teams are being used and how they're being selected. So I've brought up DC United, as you know. We might got to bring up our own. And you can see that we've got 6 TAM players at the moment. And they are Steve Birnbaum, Russell Canouse, Christian Dahome, Aaron Herrera, Mohamed Jeze, who is now left. So that actually takes it down to 5. And Martin Rodriguez. So actual a decent amount of TAM players there. But when you look at actual game-changing TAM players, you've probably, at the moment, realistically, you've got 1, which is Aaron Herrera. He has been a bit of a game changer for us this season. Martin Rodriguez, who scored midweek against Cincinnati. I think he scored. Yes, he did. He scored in the 24th minute. Yeah. That is wrong. 1. So he could end up becoming a bit more if he gets more game time. It's good to see him moving in. And, you know, I think as time goes on, the more minutes he gets, I think the better he'll become. He's not been the most productive since he joined us. And as you can see, he's got an option through to next year. Whether we take that option is yet to be seen. A lot of those players that do have those options, but the ones who don't, who are surprising, you've got Steve Birnbaum's got his contract until the end of next year, but there's no option on that. Russell Canouse, who doesn't have an option, but his contract does run out this year, and Pedro Santos as well. The only players who don't have options for the following season. But then you look at the amount of contracts that ends this year. If they don't take options, Lucas Bartlett, I'll be surprised if we don't keep him because he's been very good at the centre of the defence. Christian Benteke, I'll be surprised if we don't take his option. Alex Bono, again, I'll be surprised if we don't. Christian Dahome, I'll be surprised if we do. Aaron Herrera, I'll be amazed if we don't. The options through from 2025 and 2026 as well. Matthijs Klick. I'm unsure on this one because he's a great player. He goes through full 90 minutes and he always puts 100% in. Is he a DP level kind of player? I think he could and should be brought down, but as it stands right now, he cannot be converted from a designated player contract to a non-DP contract using TAM money. Is that right? I could have sworn I saw. Yeah, it's over here. So that would be, if we can't get him down to TAM level, is he worth it? And I'm not sure. As controversial as that might sound, that's my hot take on it. I'm not sure whether he's worth a DP level contract. McVeigh and Tyler Miller. McVeigh, I would love to see him stay. He's had a decent start to his career at the club. Tyler Miller, again, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sold after last season. But he's just started to come back this year, and he's had a lengthy injury layoff. That's the other thing we've got to consider is he's had a couple of injuries as well. So then Martin Rodriguez, he's obviously had a lengthy layoff, and whether that gets picked up again for next year, that's one that we'll be unsure about. Pedro Santos, no option, but he's played all right. He's done all right for us. I can't argue with him. He's got a cracking goal at the weekend. Luis Amudio, not really done anything, but he's just there to fill out the squad. And then you got the supplemental rosters there. Nathan Crockford's this year, again, probably just there just to fill out the roster. Ted Kutupietro, I'd be amazed if we don't keep the option. Hayden Sargas, he's just come back from being on loan. He's one of those guys, again, supplementing the roster, as you can see. And same with Gowers and Tubbs, very impressed with him so far. We needed someone like Donovan Pines to be in the squad. I see him play, he plays with a smile on his face. He just reminds me so much of Donovan Pines' stature and just the smile on his face that he has. I love it. I would love to keep him for a long time, right through to 2027. Why the heck not? And then Garay as well. Yeah, we'll see. He hasn't, when he's on loan at El Paso, 100 minutes in 9 matches, not a lot. And that's USL. Yeah, so does he have the quality to be even a MLS player as a backup? I'm not sure. Then you got international slots, which are only 7 that have been taken, but it looks like that's all the slots we have. And then does DP players, Benteke and Click both can't be converted. Mike Patola could be converted. And then under 2020 U22 initiative players in Pirani. So that's our roster. However, our roster's just been updated as of today. I'm doing things backwards, not in the same order. So I'm just going to move that across to there. And we're going to be looking at a couple of players that we've just signed. We've announced 2 players, which is fantastic news. Absolutely love it. First up, David Schnegg, left back, Austrian. Played on the international stage for a single time for Austria. We've bought him for 1.85 million euros going to transfer market, when he's currently valued at 1.5, so not too far off his value. And he's been around the grounds, primarily in Austria, floating around here. And then most recently with Sturm Graz, where he signed from Venezia back in the summer of 2022. And you know what? He doesn't look too bad. I've seen the clips of him playing. He's played 179 times in total and scored 11 and recorded 21 assists. Not bad for a left back. Not bad at all. It's a position that we've been crying out for. Obviously, Jose left earlier on in the summer. We needed someone there. We've been putting square pegs in round holes. Pedro Santos, when he's fit, has been doing the job nicely. He's not square pegged around hole. He is a left back, left winger. But to have someone of Schnegg's quality, I think it's going to be a cracking piece of the puzzle to fit in there. Very happy, plenty of game time, great amount of assists. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play and come in. Obviously, he can't play just yet. The window doesn't open for another just under 2 weeks. So he'll most likely debut in the game against Celtic in our international friendly match. But if then he'll be back in the team and we'll see how he gets on. And obviously, we've got to remember it will take time for them to settle in. He's new to the league, new continent. We've got to be patient. It might not be a case of he might play from the get-go. We've got to give him time. So let's be patient with him. If he makes a mistake or two, it's going to happen. It's a different pace to the Austrian league. Let's put it that way. So I'm very happy with that signing. And I'm very happy and looking forward to seeing how he performs for the Black and Red. But then next up is Dominic Bargi, who's no stranger to Major League Soccer. He's been around for a little while, since 2015 when he was drafted into Colorado Rapids. He spent a bit of time out on loan, but he has played plenty of times, made over 200 appearances in Major League Soccer, scoring 42 times, making 25 assists. He's not your kind of out-and-out striker that you'd expect, but he's been around, he's got the experience, and again, another player I'm actually looking forward to seeing. Most recently, he's been with Cincinnati in MLS before he went off to Turkey, and he's now been released, so he's available on a free. Whether he's available straight away, I do not know, because he's a free transfer. Let me just have a quick check on that one. Dominic Bargi, is he available straight away? 2-year deal through 2026 with an option for 2027. It's not said in the press release whether he's available straight away or not. For Austrian defender David Schnegg, again, 2-year deal through 2026 with an option for 2027. But again, that doesn't say when he's available, but because I know it's an actual transfer, he will be available straight away. Moving on from transfer news and actual transfers to rumoured transfers. Tom Borger. Sources, DC United working to sign Cameroon midfielder Boris Enau from Maccabi Netanya. To be decided if it gets done, would be a TAM level player, potential key addition. He's 24, ball winning central midfielder, played through the Porto youth system and has made more than 100 appearances in Israel. Now this is an interesting one because we've got plenty of central midfielders. Could that mean, when we look back at the roster profile, that Russell Knaus is on his way out? He's out injured at the moment. I'd be very sad to see him leave. He's a good friend of the show. He's been on many times, and I would be gutted. He's a good man to have around the team. Good leader. And he plays well. It's just a shame he's been injured, and he has picked up a knock or two throughout his career. Struggles to play a full season. I'd want to give him a bit more time. But then again, it could be Dahomey, who's played plenty of times this season, but that's not through choice. It's been through necessity. He's also the leading disciplinarian in the team as well. He's picked up the most cards. He got sent off in the game against the Red Bulls. I wouldn't be too saddened to see him go. He's one of these players who plays with a smile on his face. He plays for the love of the game. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. And then again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Martin Rodriguez who ends up going. So we shall see what happens. If this is a deal that does actually happen, it'd be interesting to see who goes out the door. We don't have a huge amount of salary room, so it's got to be one in, one out, or one out, one in. But it's not confirmed, so we don't know for sure. We shall see what happens. We shall see. And yeah, that's it for the news. So we're going to go back to the main screen. Or are we? Yes, we do need to go back to the news. So we're going to come back to the screen. I really wish I'd just, hey, whatever. It happens. I'm still getting used to back to using OBS. So, you take what you can and you do what you can do. But, I'm still getting used to things. So if there's a little hookup, I apologize. I do apologize. But we are going to go and look at a bit of game against the Red Bulls. So we're looking at this page here. But I just want to show you some of the highlights from myself. So bear with me 2 seconds. I'm going to bring it up on here. I am so sorry. I should have loaded this up. Watch a long clip. Talk amongst yourselves if you want. There it is. That's the Badger. I hope I've recorded that right. Let's open that. Then I think this is going to start playing straight away. So I'm going to allow everyone out there, for you guys who are listening, you're just going to hear me talk. For those who are watching on YouTube, you're just going to see a clip in any second. Oh, it did. Any second now. Right, Dahomey on the right-hand side, making his way forward. Stroud. Oh, he's through and goal. Stroud's goal! Jared Stroud has got his goal! DC 1-0. Fuck me. Here we go. Free kick. It's probably going to be click. But Santos has got... Oh! What a hit! Pedro Santos giving DC United the lead going into half time. What a hit. What a hit, son. Yeah. It was a hit. It was a fantastic hit. What a game this was. Brilliant. Loved watching this. Great start from us. Getting that first goal in the 6th minute through Jared Stroud. Picking up, I think this was his second goal of the season. And it was just a beautiful way to get forward. Dahomey getting involved, actually, believe it or not. Through to Stroud, to Click. And then I think it was up to Murrell, and then over to Stroud again, who's then just slotted it home nicely. And then, Pedro Santos with that absolute peach of a free kick. I'm just going to move over to here. And whilst I'm just going to talk through it, I mean, you've got the Jared Stroud. Hopefully, I won't get penalised on YouTube for this, but hey, we'll see what happens. Is it going to load? Probably not. We'll try that again. No. I don't think it's going to work. Never mind. I was hoping I was going to play it there. Yeah. Brilliant goals. Well worked. Santos with an absolute peach into the top bins. Loved it. I hope, if you've not had a chance to watch the actual watch-along, just get through to the goals and see my reactions and the key moments where Dahomey was sent off for a second bookable offence, which was so frustrating because you had that happen. You had the first yellow card, which, to be fair, I thought was a yellow card. Then you had the second one, which happened, a matter of 6 minutes later. You're looking at here. And I'm thinking, right, so you've got a player who's just had a booking and he's gone and potentially made a silly challenge not that long after. Most referees were going, mate, just calm it down. I know it's a rivalry match, but just calm it down. Do it again. I will have to book you. Not straight. He'd only committed 2 fouls in that game. Both of them yellow cards. And again, I would have thought maybe it's the first one. It could have got a warning. And I think not many people would have been too upset if he got a warning. But, I don't think that was the right decision. Then you had Donkor, who wasn't looking like he was going to get a booking straight away. But then he eventually did. And then you had the free kick, which led to our goal. But again, it was Donkor who looked more of a yellow card than Dahome's second yellow card, but he didn't actually get one. And it's just that I think if you've got the decisions happening earlier on in the game, fine, you can accept that. What I can't accept is the lack of consistency from a referee throughout the game where free kicks are going to be given and the level of foul is the same, if not greater, than previous yellow cards, and you're not going to give the yellow card. That's the bit I struggle with. I don't mind if it's bad decisions, as long as it's consistently bad decisions. It's when it's bad decisions for one team and the other team get away with it. That's the bit I struggle with. But at least we punished them with that foul, with a goal. So I can be happy with that. So yeah, we're just looking here at the timeline. Rodriguez getting the book in there. Then you can see things are happening from the Red Bull side. They eventually get that equalising goal. I'm not surprised it happened because it was one-way traffic, but we defended so well and we had a game plan, and it just, it seemed like we were going to actually come out with 3 points with 10 men for 70 plus minutes. Got to remember the added time, which there's plenty of in this game. I think it was 15 minutes in total. So you're looking at 70 plus 85 minutes. We played pretty much a full game down to 10 men, and we walked away with a point. We've got to be proud about that. Brilliant result. When we look at the stats in this game, you can see the one-sidedness because of the fact that we were down to 10 men for so long. The bit that I found incredible is the shots on goal, the shots on target. So the total amount of shots, definitely one-sided, but the on-target ones, we actually outdid them here, which very surprising. Blocked shots 6-0. I mean, obviously, total passes is going to be great. Passing accuracy, obviously, we were just been clearing the ball out. We weren't really aiming for anyone. Crosses 18-2. You can tell we didn't have a Benteke up top, and again, the fact that we're down to 10 men meant that we weren't going to be doing that crossing. Expected goals 2.3 to 0.6, so we absolutely outdid our expected goals here. And then everything else, yellow cards, we had 5 when we only committed 10 fouls. So every other foul was a easy yellow card. Don't get me started on that. And yeah, obviously the red card. So, I look at the one-sidedness there. We had 2 moments in the game where we outpossessed Red Bulls, but then everywhere else, it was Red Bulls. So, yeah, I think we can look back with a lot of happiness, the fact that we managed to pull a point out of this. So, yeah, very, very happy. So we got 1 point on the road last weekend. We were back at home last night. Again, like I said, I've not watched the highlights, so if these are able to load, that would be amazing, but I don't think they're going to load for me. Let me just try to refresh the page, see what happens. No. It ain't going to work, folks. It ain't going to work. Never mind. So, I'll have to watch the highlights after this recording to appreciate some of the goals. But looking at it, we went 1-0 down in the 10th minute. We then brought it back to 1-1 through Martin Rodriguez, assisted by Ted Pietro. Pirani came on at half-time for Chris McVeigh, who's only recently come back from injury, so no surprise there. They took the lead there through Buka, assisted by Oriano. We then brought it back to 3-2 with Pirani, assisted by Martin Rodriguez. So Rodriguez getting contributions in both goals. Really good to see him do that. And then, yeah, that was it for the game. Stats-wise, even on the possession. Pretty even on the shots on total shots and the shots on goal. Looking at it, on paper, it looks pretty even. So, and you look at that expected goals, very even. So the fact that we just lost a game to Cincinnati, and they are currently where are they in the standings at the moment? Second. So the fact that we only just got beat by Cincinnati, I think that's not a bad thing to be looking back on. Obviously, losing's never good, but the position that we're in, where we are now, bottom of the East. We're in this transitional year. We've got new GM, new head coach. We're getting rid of the deadwood in the team and starting anew. Yeah. This is the year where we wouldn't be surprised if we do finish. San Jose and Kansas are still below us. But yeah, it's not going to be pretty for the rest of this year. Philadelphia are not doing great either, which is a huge surprise. Jim Curtin, what's happening over there? We'll see how we go. If we get any win, we get more wins. That's going to be a nice bonus. Let's just have a bit of fun, shall we, for this year? Next year, I think, is where we're going to start seeing a lot of good things happen. We're starting to see the transfers coming in. Schnegg, obviously, be one of Ali's and Troy's signings. Dominic Bargy, another one of those. We've had a few in the winter transfer. Obviously, we've got players who are still at the level of the Casper era and quite not where we want to be. So, yeah, we'll see what happens over this summer window. Hopefully, we can pick up a couple more players. I think it'll be great for us to be able to do that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Then, following on from that, we've got this weekend's game against Orlando City. Head-to-head wise, we're outdoing them. But form-wise, more recently, it's not so good. So, we want to be changing that around. Hopefully, we can do that this weekend. We're away to Orlando in July. It's probably going to be a little bit sweaty, shall we say. Let's have a look. Saturday. Orlando. Humidity 58% this Saturday. Then it's 34 degrees C or 94 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on where you are in the world. That and sunny. Not much in terms of potential rain. So it's going to be a sweaty game. Be an interesting one to watch. Don't think there'll be much in that in terms of the high press, but it's the Oscar Pereira team who are usually well organised. I remember just a few years ago when they played us at Audi Field and they went down to 10 men. It was when they went down to 10 men and then they just shut up shop. They managed to get a goal and just shut us out for the rest of the game. Incredibly frustrating. That's the type of team they are. They are, when they're on it, they are an incredibly frustrating team to play against. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to this one. It's going to be tough. It's always a game that something unbelievable happens, whether it's a last-minute winner or a golazo from Wayne Rooney or an incredible stoppage time winner that is punted up to the box. We've got that goal. We have that etched in our memory. Or a goal from our own half. Again, all these against Orlando, all these incredible moments happen in these games. I say last minute goals for us. It happens against us again when we play Orlando. It's just a fixture that always has something happen, and I enjoy watching these games. If I had to have a second team, it might well be Orlando. I've enjoyed watching them. They were the first. It was the first match we had on Sky Sports over here in the UK when Sky got the rights to broadcast Major League Soccer. It was Orlando versus New York City FC at the Citrus Bowl. Is it Citrus Bowl? I think it was. when there was just that sellout crowd and the atmosphere was fantastic. And yeah, it's always a good fixture, this one. So I'm really looking forward to this one at the weekend. If we look at the standings, we go back to that. Orlando are currently 10th in the table. They've got 24 points. They're only 4 points ahead of us. And when you actually look at the table, in terms of the points, there's 6 points between 7th and bottom. That's not that many between there. That's not many. And when you think, for us, we've got 12 games to go. 12 games to pick up 6 points. It's doable. Now I'm thinking, blue sky thinking here. But I'm looking at here, 8th and 9th for this play-in game. I'm thinking that's achievable. I'm still thinking that is achievable. It'd be fantastic to get there. So why not? Why the hell not? We look at the form guides. Not many other teams are going to have a worse form than us right now. And you look at, Philadelphia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defeats on the bounce. We're not that bad. At least we've been picking up the odd point here and there. And they've got new Red Bulls. Granted, it's at home, but Red Bulls, they're going to have a tough game. But if we look at Orlando, their last sort of 5 fixtures, 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. So they're on 7 points in the last 5 games. We look at our last 5 games, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 defeats and 1 draw, 1 point. So you can see there's a bit of a difference. A bit of a difference. Yeah. But I'm just looking at other teams as well. You look at New England Revolution there. 5 wins out of the last 6. That's incredible. Fair play, New England. Fair play. Yeah, you look at the last 4 games, so I'm just looking a little bit even tighter than the last 5. Orlando, I've only had 1 defeat in the last 4 games, and that was against New York City FC at New York City. So it's going to be a tough game this weekend. Orlando, much better form than we are. You would love to think it has to turn around at some point. I would love to see it happen. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I would love to see it happen here against Orlando. This is where I want to see things start to turn up. Nashville, that'll be a tough one. Minnesota, that'll be a tough one. Dallas, potential. That's a potential win. Toronto, the way they're playing at the moment, that will be tough. And if we look back earlier on in the season, we actually drew against them. Then Chicago, who are starting to pick up points as well. New York City, they are also picking up points as well quite well. They're all the way up here. I'm thinking 1, maybe 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm thinking we might get realistically 9 points towards the end of the season. That would put us on 29. Would that be our worst ever season? Let's have a look. 2022 was not a good season for us. I don't think it was. No, it wouldn't be our worst season. 27 in 2022. I think last year was quite that bad. Yeah, we got 40 last year. 2021. How did we do? 47. I think we would have to go back all the way to 2013 for anything worse. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely not in our worst season ever. That's something that we can be rather relieved about. But it could be as bad as 2022. I think we could feel a lot. We feel a lot better. I mean, look at that: 36 goals overall, 71 conceded, 30 goals, 42. So let's do some quick maths here. Let's get a calculator up. So we are conceding 42 divided by 20, 2.1 goals a game, and scoring at a rate of 1.36. Then we look at 2022. We conceded at a rate of 71, 2.08. So we're actually conceding at pretty much the same rate. And then we just got just over 1 goal a game. So we're scoring better, but conceding at a similar rate. So yeah, we're probably looking at 2022 levels of performance in the team in the standings. In terms of Orlando, their roster, they've got one under-22 initiative player in Ramiro Enrique. And then they've got a few DPs. So they've got Luis Muriel, who is a forward, number 9. He's doing okay from what I know. If we look at his stats, he's a 33-year-old so far this season. He's played in all 20 games and he scored 13. Started 13. He scored 3 goals and made 3 assists. So he's had 6 goal contributions so far this season. You've then got Martin Ojeda, who is an Argentinian. Martin Ojeda. Oh, Martin Ojeda. I didn't even realize that was there. Let's go to, is it Luis Muriel? There you go. If you need to know how to pronounce the name, go on the MLS website and actually have a look. And so far this season, Martin Ojeda has scored 2, assisted 4. So again, 6 goal contributions. And then the final DP is Facundo Torres. And so far this season, he has scored 5 goals, assisted 3 in 18 starts. So not quite the Benteke levels of performance in terms of their forwards. Not many players are at the Benteke level. I mean, he is number 2 goal scorer in the league right now. But it's everywhere else that's failing around us in terms of goal scoring. But 16 goals scored out of the rest of the players so far this season compared to 14 for Benteke. We're starting to see that pick up a bit more now, which is nice. It's better. But when you look at Orlando and you start to look at their top goal scorer, which is Duncan Maguire, who's a player who almost signed for Blackburn Rovers, and you got a feel for him. That was a deal that should have gone through, but Blackburn being Blackburn, they failed to get their paperwork done on time, not for the first time. So he's back playing in MLS with Orlando, and yeah, he's making the most of it. You can't fault the lad. Cannot fault him at all. 7 goals so far this season. We turn that down to Orlando there, so we can have a look at their team in a bit more detail. So yeah, Duncan Maguire, Facundo Torres, Luis Muriel, and Angulo, and you got a few players there. In terms of assists, Nico Lodero and Angulo are the 2 leading assist makers in the Orlando team. For this weekend, keys to the game, I think, are going to be a case of trying to be tighter at the back. It's a difficult one. We're conceding a lot at the moment. We've conceded 9 goals in the last 3 games. That's a lot to be conceding right now. We can't afford to be doing that consistently. It's just been a tough run, and I think we need to be in a position of grinding out a result. If we can get a dirty 1-0 win, I think we'd all be happy. It's a turning point. I believe Benteke is returning this weekend. I hope it's not the return of just hit it along, because we've shown in the last 2 games we can score goals without Benteke, and that must relieve a lot of pressure from Benteke as well, because recently he's been the one who's everything's gone through. So to have the likes of Pirani starting to get the goals, Martin Rodriguez contributing to 2 goals, Stroud, Pedro Santos, the fact that other players are contributing as well as Benteke now, he must be, the weight must lift off his big shoulders that he's got, because he has been carrying the team a lot this season. So yeah, hopefully it's just not punt it long and trying to pick up. I hope we can vary our play. So I was just trying to think of the word. If we can vary our play, it'll be a lot better. I'm not sure about scores. I think it's going to be, again, a tricky one to think about if we're going to get a win or get a draw. I would love to see the availability report that's coming out tomorrow night. Because of the midweek game, the press conferences get pushed back by a day. So I should have done this podcast tomorrow rather than today, but my wife is out for the evening, so she's I'm unable to do the podcast as normal on a Friday. So let's go back to here. And yeah, we have one question in, and this is from Brian, who's in the DCUK group, so please do come and join us if you're not a member, or if you want to support the show. This is the old logo, but there is new stuff. If you go to dcunitedkingdom.com/DCUK store, get some lovely merch. You've got dad hats, which I normally have on, hoodies, coats, stickers, holographic stickers. They look really cool. Yeah, pick something up, support the show. It all helps in every way, shape, or form, and spread the word and spread the love. And also, before I do the question, give the show a rating and a review, please. It might not seem like much, but it means a lot to me. To see you rate the show and leave a little review, it gives me something to read. It gives me that drive and push to keep doing the show. So anything like that, shout outs on social media, it all helps. It all helps me keep it going. But for the question from Brian, who would you rather have take your national team into the 2026 World Cup? Greg Berhalter or Gareth Southgate? I'm not allowed to say neither, so I have to pick one. And I would love to be able to say this after Saturday night. Love to be able to answer this, because we managed to get through the game in the round of 16 just thanks to extra time. But we did play a lot more attacking in that game, whether it's because of the opponent, but it was a bit more positive than we have done in the group stages. I'm just thinking, are we lulling teams into a false sense of security and we're just suddenly just going to go like that, and Gareth Southgate's go, right, now you can attack and you can go hell for leather. If that happens, then absolutely Southgate. Berhalter, no. Just no. Never really rated him. Never enjoyed his football. Even when he was coaching in MLS, didn't really think that much of him. So out of the two, I'm going to have to say Gareth Southgate. And that is how we're going to end the show. Thank you to those who are watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. It's always a lovely thing to see you guys out there. If you're listening, thank you very much. Again, please leave a little rating and review. And if you want to support the show, please do. But I'm just going to leave you with the clip of the watch long from the weekend, as well at the end, a little word from the show sponsors. Dahomey on the right hand side, making his way forward. Stroud. Oh, he's through and goal. Stroud's goal! Jared Stroud has got his goal! DC 1-0. Fuck me. Here we go. Free kick. It's probably going to be click, but Santos has a goal. Oh! What a hit! Pedro Santos giving DC United the lead going into half time. What a hit! What a hit, son! Are you eager to fuel the growth of soccer in the US whilst showcasing your passion for the sport? Well, look no further than Pitch Invaders, the ultimate online apparel destination tailored for the soccer community. Based in Arlington, Virginia, Pitch Invaders offers a dynamic range of casual and athletic gear designed to let you express your love for both the game on and off the pitch. But Pitch Invaders isn't just about trendy merch, it's a movement. They proudly partner with local soccer clubs and associations, actively contributing to the growth and expansion of the sport across the US. Community is at the heart of everything they do. As a special treat for our podcast listeners, use code DCUK for an exclusive 15% discount on all purchases at pitchinvadersusa.com. By supporting Pitch Invaders, you're not just showing your love for the soccer, you're also backing a brand committed to fostering community and making a difference in the sport. Don't miss out on this opportunity to rep your love for the soccer, support the community, and look absolutely fantastic while doing it. Visit pitchinvadersusa.com today and join us in proclaiming that the pitch is for the people.